Good morning, dear channel followers. You are welcome to a new video, English with Mr. Aziz Zubair from A to Z. In this video, our focal lesson revolves about tenses, mainly future perfect simple. Please your attention. Let's begin. So, first of all, future perfect simple, all the time put in your mind action. Means here that this tense, simple, especially future perfect simple, focuses on the action. It does not focus on the length or duration of the action because it is simple. Let's see the structure of this tense. Affirmative. All the time you have will have, and it does not change. Plus past participle. Second, negative. You insert not. It becomes will not have plus past participle. Interrogative. Pay attention to the inversion. Will plus subject plus have plus past participle. Please try to memorize irregular verbs, especially because the past participle requires that you have to memorize verbs, especially irregular ones. Let's jump to the definition of the future perfect simple. The future perfect simple tense is used to indicate the completion of an action at a particular time in the future, which means here three key words are important in this definition. Number one, future action. So all the time future perfect tense speaks about the future. Number two, it needs a specific time. The time is specific. And number three, the action is going to be completed at that specific time at the future. Am I clear? That's good. Let's move to time expressions, which we call them signals, which means these are words that help you understand which tense you should use. Concerning the future perfect simple, these are the signals. Number one, by. So it's a very important word here. By. For example, the end of summer, which means when summer ends, we mean this expression. This time, next week, which means the action is going to be completed next week in future. By 5 o'clock this afternoon. 5 o'clock, this is just the morning. 5 o'clock is in the future. It is specific, you see? And the action is going to be completed at 5 o'clock. Before Monday, in 2 months' time. In 2 months' time. By 2021. You see? Or when you have the subordinate conjunction time expression, when I get married. This is just an example. Now, after this small introduction concerning the structure, concerning the signals, I think that and the definition, of course, I think that the future perfect simple now is obvious. You understand it. I'm sure you understand it. Let's jump to some examples to reinforce our understanding. Number one, this student will have completed her physics program by the end of May. So the tense is will have completed, in which we find will have, do not change both of them, plus past participle, which is completed. So whenever a verb ends with ed, either in past simple tense or concerning past participle, no change. Ed remains ed because it is regular. Time expression here or signal is by the end of May. So when you see, for example, by the end of May, introduced by, you use future perfect simple, which is will have plus past participle. Number two, Brahim and Samira will have spent together 20 years when their parents return from USA. When till USA, we can substitute it for by the end of October. We can replace it by the end of October. So when you have a sentence like this and you have when, pay attention, the verb that comes after when, it should be just in the present, which is the verb to return. It is just in the present. But the main verb that we are talking about, it should be in future perfect simple. Will have spent. Number three, by 9 o'clock, we will have finished our domestic activities. So the same future perfect is will have finished, and the time expression is by 9 o'clock. They will have left the classroom by the end of the hour. All the time you rely on time expressions. These are the key signals that invite you to use an appropriate tense. Concerning our case here, you use the future perfect simple because we have by the end of the hour. 5. When I graduate. So here we begin with when. So I have said when, it should be followed by simple present tense. And second part, I will have been 20 years old. That is to say, we can by 2023 can replace when I graduate, and therefore the sentence becomes by 2023 I will have been 20 years old. Am I clear? So concerning when, either it is used in a final possession or it is used in an initial possession. No problem, no difference, both of them are correct. Number 6, by the beginning of March. March, it is in future. By the beginning of March, we will have written a book of literature. So all the time, when you want to use the future perfect simple tense, please rely on time expressions. And these are examples that I have given you in order to facilitate your task. So the lesson of the future perfect simple is over. See you in the next video. Thanks.
Hey, ما تنساوش تلايكيو لاباج ديالنا في الفيسبوك وتابونو عندنا في لاشين يوتيوب. ميرسي.